Ebenezer AME Church on Nassau Street in downtown Charleston is the place to come on Sunday mornings to hear powerful sermons preached by Pastor Swinton. I had a chance to talk with him for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. Well, Reverend Quintin, let me take you back down memory lane for a moment.
Okay.
It was early 2007, and I was dealing with an issue, and I came to you. And you were so gracious to me. So gracious. And, you know, I haven't seen you since then. But tell me, how are you?
I've been doing fine.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. And later I came to Ebenezer on a Sunday to watch you preach to the choir here and to your congregation. May I say that besides Leonard Griffin, you are one of the best people in Charleston to preach powerful sermons. Tell me, where did that skill of communicating to people came from actually?
Well, of course, you know, seminary is, of course, an important part of our preparation for ministry. And during that seminary experience, not only did I get the opportunity to practice preaching, to learn theology and the content of what you would need to build a message.
Sure.
But also, my work study job was recording preachers.
Oh, is that right?
And I would record all the student preachers, and it got to the point where the professor would actually ask me to come out of the room and give my opinion.
Wow.
And so from that experience, I think I started developing the skills, the know-how of how to put a message together and how to deliver it.
Yes. And everyone knows you as Pastor Griffin. But when you take
Swinton.
Swinton.
I like Reverend Griffin, but I'm Swinton.
That's right.
My friend.
That is true. That is true. I'm sorry. But you know, everyone knows you as Pastor Swinton. But when you take off your church robe, who is William Swinton?
I think I'm a Charlestonian.
Yes.
I'm someone who has a passion for the people of this city, someone who cares about the oppressed, those who are struggling.
Yes.
Those who are going through difficult times, whether it be physical illness, mental illness, or just economic difficulty.
Yes.
So that's my calling, my motivation for ministry.
Absolutely.
To help.
That is so true. And you know, let's continue to walk down memory lane. As I read, you actually grew up here in Charleston.
Yes, I did.
Talk to me about your memories of growing up here.
Growing up in Charleston was a wonderful experience for me. My early years, up until about 7th grade, I grew up on the east side of Charleston.
Awesome.
In fact, South Street.
Oh, yes.
America Street.
That's right.
The neighborhood that actually I currently serve now, I grew up in. And then around 8th grade, we moved to Rutledge Avenue and attended Rivers High School. And so I feel as though I can connect with the people I serve here because I know their journey.
Yes, absolutely. And from what I read, and I hope this is true, but you are the 6th child out of 7 children.
That's right.
Tell me, how did you stand out?
I am blessed to have some outstanding siblings, and all of them are doing really well.
That's awesome.
And they kept me in line, and I attribute some of the success I've been able to achieve through their input into my life, their influence, and most importantly, their example.
Yes. And let's talk about college, which was for you a place that I love, South Carolina State University.
That's right.
Who was William Swinton as a college student?
Someone who is exploring life, first time away from home.
Sure.
Trying to find my place, my calling, my purpose. Was a business student, and actually it was during my time at South Carolina State that I really made a commitment to Christ and received my calling to the ministry.
That is awesome.
So Orangeburg, South Carolina is a special place for me, and South Carolina State is a special university for me.
And after South Carolina State, you went on to seminary.
That's right.
Talk to me about your experience there.
I attended Oral Roberts University,
Yes.
and the question always comes to me, well, why there?
Yes.
Well, what actually happened, we had some students from Oral Roberts University touring the Southeast, and they were invited to our church, Greater St. Luke, where I grew up, And I was so impressed with the spirituality, the intelligence,
Yes.
Their commitment to their faith. So when I was exploring seminaries, I wrote the school, and among others, and I was admitted. And so I left my job in business and headed out to Tulsa,
Oklahoma. That's right. And after that, I read that you got a doctorate degree from Drew University?
That's right. That's right. After serving a number of years, I felt a need to go back to school in the 90s, early 90s, and attended Drew University in New Jersey.
Yes.
And had a wonderful experience there. And that experience allowed me to spend time in my church and to develop a paper,
Sure.
a thesis
Right.
that addressed the needs in my congregation. And so it was really an excellent program to be a part of.
And before you left seminary, I read that you actually met your wife, Cheryl.
Yes.
Talk to me about why did you believe that she was the one for you?
She has a tremendous amount of love, compassion,
Yes.
and commitment to Christ and the church. And her example continues to inspire me. She is very passionate about youth. She's a high school administrator at Wando High School,
Yes.
and has been the state director of the YPD here in South Carolina.
Yes.
And now gives that same energy and talent to this local congregation in a smaller capacity. And just an awesome woman.
And let's talk about your two children, Trey and John Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know them, describe them.
Well, Trey is first child, hard worker,
Yes.
very committed to what he believes in. Attended Wando High School, graduated, went on to the Citadel.
Yes.
My most proudest moment of him was seeing him receive the Palmetto Award,
Oh, yeah.
which is one of the highest awards that the Citadel bestow upon a student. And his picture is in the hallways at the Citadel. He's currently second lieutenant in the Air Force,
Wow.
stationed in Shane, Wyoming,
Yes.
living in Colorado.
Okay.
And we're hoping to visit him very soon.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Well, let's talk about Wayne Swinton as a pastor.
I got to talk about John.
Oh, I'm
too.
sorry. Go ahead.
John
go ahead.
is also a graduate of Wando
Okay.
and currently a student at Wofford College,
Great.
sophomore at
Yes.
Wofford, and great athlete.
That is awesome. Now let's talk about you as a pastor. From what I read, you pastored at Holy Trinity AME Church in Mount Pleasant.
Yes.
What was your time like there?
Holy Trinity was a wonderful experience for me. It was a smaller congregation that kind of nurtured me as I attempted to be their leader and pastor. Had a wonderful relationship with many of the members there, and even to this day, we're friends. And when they see me, I'm glad to see them.
Yeah.
Good congregation.
And speaking of friends, you pastored at Friendship AME Church.
Yes.
What was it like there, too?
Friendship is in the old village of
Yes.
Mount Pleasant, and so moving over to Friendship was not that big of a transition. Larger church,
Oh, yes.
beautiful church,
Right.
wonderful people who also influenced my life in a great way.
And then you took your skills and talent to Bethel AME Church in Georgetown.
Yes, Bethel, first church on the Georgetown district, a larger congregation, multi-talented church with a strong involvement in the community. It provided me the opportunity to serve them full-time, and my wife and I had a wonderful experience in Georgetown. They're some of the finest people in South Carolina.
Yes.
Live in Georgetown.
Yes, indeed. And I didn't notice, but you also were an adjunct professor for Voorhees College's Charleston branch?
Yes, in addition to my pastoring, I also have a passion for education. So
That's awesome.
I've worked for Voorhees College, among some other schools in the area, on a limited basis, of course.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Pastor Young stepped down from Ebenezer AME Church, how did you get this job?
Mm-hmm. Well, our system, we have an Episcopal system in the
Okay.
sense that we have a bishop.
Sure.
And when Dr. Young took the position at Allen University
Right.
as president, I was appointed to Ebenezer.
Awesome.
And so I've been here since.
Well, describe to me the following in one word. Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.
Great group of men, wonderful brotherhood, committed to community, high ideals and standards.
Yes.
Just a good fit for me. And my first experience with Alpha Phi Alpha was in Georgetown.
Is that right?
And it was there I joined the grad chapter. And then moving here to Charleston, I can now continue to function with the group here.
2 Timothy 2:15.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's your, how could you describe that in one word?
Okay. Quote that verse for me. I'm trying to think what is, I know what it says, but tell me, refresh my mind.
I believe it has something to do with workmanship from what I read.
Mm-hmm.
I know you like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Timothy, the whole book of Timothy is
Yes.
a wonderful book because he's a young man
Right.
who is trying to find his way.
Yes.
And learning to trust the Lord.
Right.
And finding his place in the call of God.
Yes.
And so that's been my journey, and that's why not only that particular verse, which I can't remember right now, but the whole
it's all
book.
good.
The whole book really is a wonderful guide for clergymen and women who are seeking to find their place, as well as develop their own personal spiritual gifts.
Yes. One word to describe Ebenezer AME Church.
Mm-hmm. Ebenezer is a very vibrant, growing, exciting church to be a part of. Worship is, of course, the center of all that we do.
Oh, yes.
And the worship experience is probably the most dynamic and spiritual that I've ever been a part of. Community service is also a very important trademark of this church, and we're involved in helping people in a variety of capacities on a really weekly basis.
Yes, indeed. One word to describe Pastor William Swinton.
I would simply say committed to the cause of Christ, committed to serving others, and being of help to someone in need.
Yes. We know that you love God and you serve God in a tremendous way. But what is something that people don't know about you?
They may not know that I'm a big sports fan.
Is that right? College, NFL?
And I like it all.
Oh, good.
And what brings me the most joy was when my sons were young and they played sports and being able to watch them participate.
Yeah.
And I still to this day enjoy sports. Of course, basketball is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Football, baseball.
Yeah.
I played them all growing up.
That's great.
Taught me the importance of teamwork and
Yes.
working with others
Yes.
for a common cause. So they're great lessons from the sporting world, and so we enjoy it. I enjoy it.
I bet you do. I bet you do. And, I can't let you go without me asking you, what's the next chapter for you?
Well, that's something I'm continuing to pray about.
Yes.
Certainly our work here at Ebenezer is not done.
Oh, yeah.
But I see myself continuing to serve God and the church
Yes.
in some capacity.
Yeah.
So that's my life.
That is awesome. Well, Pastor William Swinton, it was great talking to you.
Great talking with you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Likewise.